You're going to spend the minimum amount of energy maintaining your existing systems in all the other areas of your life. And then you're going to focus 100% of the excess energy into creating the next breakthrough. Bam. Maximum results are achieved by imbalancing your effort for a predefined season. Farmers have something figured out. They don't work 18 hours year round. They work hard year round, but they work 18 hours when it is the harvest, when it is time to show up and do the work. Well, this is what we now call this a harvest season. And the reason is because most of life happens in seasons. Balance is not a great metaphor for life. Very rarely do we spend an equal amount of time on equal things. That's not really how life works. What is a great metaphor for life is the concept of a season. We have seasons of all sorts of things. We have seasons of youth. We have seasons of education. We have seasons of moving to a new place. We have seasons of a new job. We have seasons of dating. We've got seasons of marriage. We have seasons of young kids. We have seasons of empty nest. And not just in our personal life, but so many professions also follow seasons. I mean, you think of athletes. They have seasons. They have preseason. They have postseason. They have a playoff season. Artists have seasons. They have seasons of writing, and then they have seasons of promoting. The accountants have tax season. Retailers have the Christmas season. Like schools have summer and winter break. Life is about seasons. It's not about balance. And so what is a harvest season? Well, for us, the way we describe this is that a harvest season is any period of protected time with intense singular focus. So a season can be very long, right? A season could be short. A season could be as short as like 10 minutes of going, I'm going to protect this window so that I can really I have to focus on doing this thing. It could be 4 years. You could say, I'm going back to school and this is going to be the main thing that I'm doing. If you have kids, it might be a couple years. It could be several years. We're in the middle, as we talked about in the one of the earlier discussions, we're in the middle of COVID. This is a season. This will be one of the most memorable seasons of our life that we all were affected by. It will mark human history. It will likely define generations. It'll be a demarcation line between generations. It's a big deal. Like, we are in a season. Well, what's amazing about that is if you embrace the concept of a season, it actually creates a lot of opportunity and power for your life. Results don't come from spending equal time on several different activities. Results come from investing disproportionate time into a few priorities. And one of my illustrations or examples of this personally, there was a time in my life where a lot of people don't know this, and many of the people in my life now never knew me back then. But there was a time where I weighed 45 pounds more than I do now. And I was over 235 pounds. And what happened was, if I would have just balanced, and I tried this for a while, I was like, okay, I'm just going to work out a couple times a week here and there. And it didn't make it worse, but it didn't make it better. There wasn't enough intensity. And so what happened was I made a resolution that I was going to stop drinking alcohol forever. I was going to stop drinking carbonated beverages forever. I was going to stop eating fast food forever. I was going to stop having sugar forever. And I was going to work out, specifically for me, it was running. I was going to run 30 minutes a day on the treadmill forever until I got back to where I wanted to be. And so the decision was forever. It wasn't really forever. It was really as long as I have to. And I didn't know how long that would be, but it was a decision that I made, that I'm going to enter into a season of health. This is going to become one of my most important things. But what's amazing is I still didn't have to work out 8 hours a day to get there. And it didn't take 10 years. It took me like 6 months. It took me about 6 months. And then I got back to where I wanted to be. And ever since then, I've been able to put it more on autopilot. It's not that I don't do anything. I do. I exercise. In fact, my current plan these days is that I work out about 20 minutes every day, but it's very light intensity, but I do it every single day. If you're curious about the Rory Vaden personal philosophy, my personal philosophy is this: consistency is greater than intensity. But when I talk about seasons, when we use the phrase seasons, a season is about intensity, but it's about short-term intensity. It is a window of time where you kind of overextend in one direction. Another way of saying it or thinking about it is like this: you're going to spend the minimum amount of energy, okay, maintaining all the other areas of your life. We talked about the 6 F's: faith, family, fitness, fun, faculty, and finances. So you're going to spend the minimum amount of energy maintaining your existing systems in all the other areas of your life. And then you're going to focus 100% of the excess energy into creating the next breakthrough. Bam. So it's not about only doing one thing in your life. That's often impractical as well, right? We have many different facets of our life. It's not like I can just go, oh yeah, I'm going to ignore my kids for 6 months, right? Or like, I'm just not going to go to work for 6 months. That's not really realistic. It's just not, right? You can't do that. You can't just say, I'm going to disappear my family for 6 months. But what you can do is you can do a short-term burst of this and you create the breakthrough. Focus is power. Balance is not power. Focus is power. Intent, this is what creates the intense breakthrough. And so what happens is you do this moment of intensity, there's a breakthrough. You break through the next plateau, like the next plateau or the next ceiling, and then you put that area of life on maintenance mode, and you dedicate 100% of the excess energy into the next thing. One of the ways that we say this is we call this learning to work double time, part-time for full-time, free time. That is what we're doing, because that is how we create breakthroughs. And that is not what you hear about a lot, but that is what we learned from watching Multipliers. And that's what we have actually done. A book launch is a great example of that. A book launch is like a 18-month window of your life where it's the full focus, the all-consuming thing. If you're really trying to, do everything you can. But if you do that and you do it well and you follow the plan and you execute the process, it will level you up in a way that will last you the rest of your life. It'll change the trajectory of your life from that point forward. And so we've had these different seasons. There's seasons of startups, right? We've been through several of those seasons. There's the seasons of kids. And so life happens in seasons, and concentrating is about giving yourself the permission to focus it with these for a short-term burst, basically, to create that breakthrough, to work double time, part-time, for full-time, free time.